All right, everyone, welcome to part 3 of the product research phase. So the first part, we just did our initial product research to just kind of get a feel for what markets might have potential and gaps in the market where we can actually take advantage and be able to come up with our product. Then in part 2, we did deep product research where we went over the needs of what people are looking for to really validate and come up with what people would actually purchase and how we would go about validating and differentiating our products from what's already out there. Okay, and now part 3 is still part of the product research phase, and in part 3 what we're going to do is we're actually going to take the ideas that we have and then actually run it through suppliers to see what's actually feasible, how much it might cost, and see if this is actually something that we can move forward with. Because it's not enough just to come up with these ideas. You actually now have to see if these ideas and needs are actually going to be able to be implemented in your product and then be able to sell it for a reasonable price that people are going to be willing to purchase it for, right? Now, before I get into part 3, this is kind of the list that we came up with, right? The beta tank, the turtle tank, rock climbing, and a bunch of the other stuff. Now, unfortunately, I didn't get this in recording, but I was doing a little bit of homework prior to this video, and I was just kind of thinking about how I would go about actually sourcing these kinds of similar products. And what I was doing was I was looking at the beta tank and the turtle tanks, and what I was doing was I think I was searched up under like fish tank, right? And I was looking around, and one thing that I noticed was this fake fish. And somehow I landed in the fake jellyfish. And it sparked an idea for me, because while I was doing all the beta tank and the turtle tank, there is a need, and there's still, I believe, a market for this if you can execute correctly for fish tanks and that kind of thing. But what I was noticing was that there was a lot of demand for a jellyfish tank. And so now it's extremely hard to actually take care of real live jellyfish, but so these are fake jellyfish. But there's a lot of demand, a lot of people love buying this kind of thing. And so it sparked an idea where I was kind of going against what everyone else was doing, and I was trying to avoid competition if I could. And I noticed this fish tank as well, where it was basically a fake fish tank aquarium. And so if people are willing to purchase a jellyfish tank like this, you know, it probably makes sense that people are also looking for a fake artificial fish tank aquarium, right? Because then you don't have to worry about maintenance, and they still look really good. And then you also avoid the issues that most people are having with their current fish tanks, which is the reason why so many of these get such low reviews, like 3 out of 5, 4 out of 5. And that's basically because for the price that a lot of people are looking for, and these are the ones that sell the best, a lot of times they have to forgo quality aspects, right? So I was looking at the negative reviews, and people were saying, oh, you know, the filter's bad, it broke down, the lights were bad, my fish were like dying because they got caught in the filter, and XYZ. And so what I assumed is possible is for us to kind of circumvent that and go around it, is for us to actually provide the value that people are looking for, which is kind of the being able to show off and show that you have like these fish tanks. Not everyone, like people genuinely enjoy, I know that people genuinely enjoy like taking care of pets and that kind of thing, but then there's also clearly a demand for people to just have something like this and something cool to have in their room and at their pad. And so with that assumption, I assumed it would be a lot easier to come up with like a fake aquarium where basically you would have the fake fish and then like all the pebbles and things like that, and then really make it pop with LED lights, because now you don't even have to worry about filters and maintenance and the things that are causing these products to go to negative reviews, and really you're just there for the visual aspect and just making it look really nice. I did do a little bit more homework. I typed in things like artificial aquarium. And so you can see people are currently selling this kind of thing. And artificial fish tank with moving fish. So people are interested in this kind of thing. And what you'll notice, and I took a look at some of these current examples, what I noticed with this one was that it was purely a digitally made one, right? And it would project these. And in my mind, I think that was okay. And actually, this thing does, and with a 3.5 star out of 5, currently this product still and I'll show you right here, does 11,000 a month in revenue. And honestly, if I was looking for like fake fish aquarium tank, this would not be my ideal product. This would be like a second best because it looks a little bit corny, you know, looking at it. And really, in my mind, when I'm searching up something like artificial fish tank with moving fish, I'm looking for like a legit fish tank with water in it, and it just has like fake moving fish that might glow in the dark and that kind of thing. And so you'll see right here, these are fish, they glow at night, very cool. And then this is the tank. And so like really, this is what people are looking for right here. But it just has to include everything. You know what I mean? And I thought that it was really cool what they did with like the adjustable suction cups, so then when a water jet pushes it, then it simulates like an actual fish moving motion. Anyways, that is the idea, and this is the idea that we're going to kind of assume that we're going to be running with if you were to source the product. And I actually think this is not a bad idea at all, just because of the competition. This one it still also looks kind of corny. And so there's a better way to go about executing this. And so when we think about something like this, right, let's go back to like the needs of the market and what people might be looking for in a artificial fish aquarium. So people are going to be looking for like a fish tank, obviously, real fish tank with water. It doesn't have to be big. You're going to be looking for artificial floating fish. And ideally they glow in the dark. So that looks really cool. You're going to be looking for colorful LED lights. And really, that don't break down. You're going to be looking for artificial plants. Plants decor that look awesome in person and photos. Artificial rocks in the sand that also look awesome in person and photos. And a water jet that's not a filter, right? Because now we're not really looking for filters. We're not trying to clean up the water. All it has to do is just have a jet propulsion so that it looks like a filter and also helps the fish move around, and so that there's some kind of current going through it. And so if you think about this, as long as you nail these things, and I'm sure if you were to actually do your homework with your own product, you would come up with even more better ideas. If we can nail these aspects of what we're trying to come up with, you might actually be solid with what you're looking for and be able to actually really create something that people want. Now, like I said, when I'm doing this, I didn't really go in and do my deep research with something like this, right? I didn't go back and think about what's possible, what people are looking for and that kind of thing. I did a little bit of research into Reddit and searching up on YouTube and videos and things like that, and people were asking, where do I buy this? This is really cool, blah, 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 blah. And so I saw that initial demand out there. And if you always want to validate your idea, like I said, just always go back and just ask for feedback and see if this is something people would be looking for. And then you'll be able to validate that from there. But let's say that we have this done. The next step that we need to do is actually go out there and search up on Alibaba and see if we can come up with something that we can use. And before I actually go into this template, let's do this. So we go to Alibaba. And I'm going to search up something like artificial aquarium and look for suppliers that might be able to, that have something similar to what we're looking for. Fluorescence artificial swimming fish. So they have one part of what we're looking for. That would be a potential supplier that we can chat with. And actually, the tank itself doesn't have to be glass. It can be acrylic, because that would be cheaper and will lower the chances of it breaking. And you don't have to worry about scratching as much or it getting dirty and that kind of thing, because everything's going to be basically plastic in there. Or maybe I'm wrong. Well, you just have to kind of do some research. And like seeing this, now we kind of get into something interesting as well, where it's like something like this where it's not real fish. They're artificial fish that, no, you know what, let's not go down that rabbit hole. But this supplier, let's see, artificial, maybe if we just type in artificial fish. Fish. Okay, yeah, so we have a lot of, so pebble, 100 pieces of glow-in-the-dark artificial luminous pebble stone. Artificial fish tank decoration accessories. Okay, so that's another piece of what we're looking for, right? So we're looking for the floating fish, tackled that, got the sand, or the rocks. And if they are truly a supplier, if they sell like rocks, it's a good chance that they're going to be doing the glowing fish as well as they're able to, as well as like decor, right? And then from there you can expand to like the water jet and the just like the tank with the LED lights and that kind of thing. And what we can do, if we don't have a real hit, artificial fish tank, ocean imitation. Oh, that's pretty cool. For tortoise. Tortoise? We've got some potential suppliers that we can chat with. And I know that a lot of us like to go about doing it the sniper way, where we like look at the supplier, look at their website, and make sure that like they don't say like trading company or anything like that. But what I like to go about doing is actually more of a shotgun approach, where we just chat with as many people that might be able to do what we're looking for, and then work with the people that actually put in the effort to try and do it and actually can feasibly do it. Because if you go with a sniper approach, you eliminate potential, like that would be like pretty trippy and cool to just have in your tank and to showcase in like an image. I can see something like this being really catchy. Sucker, coral, aquarium, artificial silicone plant with ornament water landscape. Okay, so now we're talking. So selling good clear acrylic fish tank like this, and then all you have to do is just have an attachment of the lights. Don't need a heater. And basically what you're doing at this point is you have a supplier that has one component of what you're looking for, and then what you need to do is you just need to combine all those components and then be able to sell it as one package. Artificial plants. And so you can see right now, what I'm doing is it's not like a set it, oh, it looks like you can find what selling on Amazon right here. But what I'm doing is I'm not necessarily going after the easiest thing that I can do, right? Like right now, okay, like actually this is a perfect example. If I was looking at this and I was like, oh, you know what, I can tell this thing already does 11,000 a month, then all I have to do is just source this damn thing and then list it under mine. But then you're just doing that Me Too product, and you're not really tackling the needs of what people are looking for, right? But if we do something like this, where we have to reach out to a bunch of different people, or maybe work with the one person that could somehow combine all these components together and be able to package it, and so you can sell it as one thing, then you're taking that extra step. You're doing the things that other people aren't willing to do, and you're coming up with a unique product. Like this is cool. And you're coming up with a new product that nobody else is really sourcing, and that is unique to you. And oh, that would be really cool to have. Wholesale customized aquariums and accessories in tanks. Now, these guys work with customized aquarium, and so they might be able to work with what we're looking for, right? And so this is what you want to do. You want to grab a list of like 30, 50 people. A lot of them aren't going to respond to you at all, or they're going to quickly phase off. And you just keep doing this until you can finally find someone that can potentially work with you with your idea. Some niches are going to be easier. Some niches are going to be harder because you're going to have a harder time finding a lot of suppliers that can do what you can do, or what you're looking to do. But that's part of the challenge, and you're just going to have to keep on trying at it until you can find someone to do what you're looking to do. And if you keep on spending all this time and you can't eventually find someone to be able to do that, then it might be one of those things where it's a great idea, you had the niche, but you just didn't have that last piece of the equation, which is basically being able to feasibly do this and for a cost that you can sell your good at, that people would actually be willing to purchase at. Right? So then you have all these suppliers that you have to reach out to, right? And what you want to do is you want to use a template like this. I'll share this one in the links, but this is something that I kind of sniped from Brock. I just changed a few things, but basically what you want to do is just want to copy and paste this so that you don't have to spend time clicking on coming up with like a customized reach out. So what you want to do is you want to fill out these places right here. You know, my name is Jack, and the product design for Amazing Products LLC, whatever. And we're currently looking to add, in this case, a artificial fish aquarium to our brand. I took a look at your listing and company profile and noticed your supply similar products. I want to introduce myself and our company and express our product requirements to see if your company can supply your needs. Here is what we're looking for. And so just type that in. Make sure that all of this is black. Or we'll do that after. Real fish tank. Clean this up like fish tank, fish, with LED lights. Water jet to simulate. Something like that, right? You can be as detailed as you like with this, but really you're not looking to get a reply from them on the Alibaba platform, because Alibaba's platform, the messaging center kind of sucks. Like the template and the formatting looks really weird. It's really clunky, and the platform, like, it loads really slow, and you get bombarded with all kinds of things. What you're really looking for is to just get their Skype information. This is where I've had the best experience, and a lot of times, like you don't want to just layer them with a bunch of questions that they have to answer via Alibaba or in one go, because you deter people that might be interested in working with you, because it's such a long thing, and you have to understand, for all these people, English is their second language, and so it's kind of like they would have been interested, but because if it's like such a long thing, they have a hard time understanding it, and they're not gonna try as hard, and that's what I've noticed in my experience. And it's better to actually like go on Skype and talk to them and have a conversation, so that when you're asking like a fish tank with LED lights, they're going to ask for clarification. If you're asking for like artificial floating fish, they're going to ask for clarification. Every single part of this, they're going to ask for clarification, because they need to understand what you're talking about. So you're going to have to send them images, and then they're going to have questions about this, and you're going to answer them with this and that kind of thing. So it's more of a conversation. You're building rapport, because now you're having this conversation. They can see that you're a real person. They can see that you're interested in that. You are interested in working with them as well. And you're building that rapport. And so really, with my templates and anything like that, when I'm reaching out to anyone on Alibaba, I'm just trying to get their Skype and to chat with them. Now, this is more work than just sending out this template with like a bunch of requirements and for them to answer in one go. But like I said, I've had my best experiences just talking to people on Skype and just going through the process and seeing what's possible, what's not possible. Because you can also just ask them questions, be like, oh, like, I was looking for something like this. Is this feasible? So then one person on Skype might be like, yes. Another person might be like, no, it's not possible. One person might give you a different quote, and another person might give you a different quote. And so obviously, fill in the rest of this. My Skype is Jack blah at live.com or whatever. Let's check. Now, the things you want to avoid as you're going through this is when they ask you like how many units you're looking to order. Okay, try and avoid answering that question as much as possible, because if you tell them like a low number, which is what you're going to do with your trial order, you might deter them from actually committing to moving forward and working with you. But if you have been talking for a while, then it's like they've put in all this time investment. If this is something that they might be able to put together, even if you're doing a smaller order, because you've built that rapport and they know what you're looking for, all that stuff in place. So if they ask you something like that, like how many units you're trying to order, you could just be like, right now I just want to see if something like this is possible, and if it is possible and you think that we can put this together, then let's talk. But for now, I just want to see if something like this is possible within our brand, right? Okay, so then what you want to do is you just want to copy, get rid of all the orange and just the bolding, copy, contact supplier, and obviously you would have an Alibaba account by now, and then just boom. And then just send inquiry and just do that over and over again with all the people that you found. Eventually, what's going to happen is people are going to respond on Alibaba what their Skype is, Or once you log into Skype, they're just going to go out of their way to just introduce themselves and just like wave at you and say, hi, blah, 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 we talked on Alibaba, right? And then you can just start the conversation from there. Also, if you're having a hard time finding suppliers or listing to try and get a supplier to reach back out to you, you can also use this right here where it's like that one request RFQ right here. And here what you can do is you can actually enter what you're looking for, right? Artificial fish aquarium. So from here, and copy this, paste it, and then just fix a few things. So you can be like, my name is Jack. And then just change the template. If you think you can supply and meet our requirements, I would love to introduce myself and the company and discuss further. My Skype is blah. That's Jack. You know, something like that. And then you should be able to get some people to respond back to you and that kind of thing. And so we'll wrap it up with this part of the video. After your talk and that kind of thing, and you can actually move forward with this, and you've done the homework, then it's time to talk about price and see if we can actually make this work.